everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how are you tonight, buddy, on this hump day?
Hump day!
Yeah. That never gets old.
Yeah, it's a good commercial.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just getting by through the week. It's been pretty busy on my side of things, but I think it's going to come down a little more once it's like the middle of the month. So, but other than that, yeah, how are you doing though?
Doing great. I've been pretty busy myself, and part of that busyness has included some sports-related items, and this has been a very busy time in just the Boston sports world, I feel like, in general. And part of that busyness is what we are going to get into tonight, because this past Sunday night was a big night in Boston sports. The Red Sox clinched the playoffs. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, that was important as well. But no, this past Sunday night was the return of the GOAT, the prodigal son, the greatest football player to ever walk the face of this earth, Tom Brady. That's right. Yes, Tom Brady made his triumphant return to Foxborough Sunday night to take on the Patriots as a member, for those of you who don't know, of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you don't know, you really shouldn't be watching the show. How dare you? But yeah, the defending Super Bowl Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in town to take on the Patriots. And that meant, like I said, the first time that Tom Brady has played in Foxborough, and actually the first time he's played the Patriots since leaving in 2020 to go to Tampa Bay. And I mean, what a night it was. So much emotion, so much just like pent up, just I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I mean, just you watch a game like that. I mean, the hype heading into is just so much, like, all week long. Everybody's just talking about it, like, oh my God, Brady this and Brady that. And then you get to the game and it's like you see him run out of the visitor locker room and, sort of do his trademark, like, let's go, and fist pump as he gets down in the end zone, and people are cheering, and then the game starts, and you're like, wait, we actually, like, really do need to go, like, try to sack this guy and, like, beat him, and, like, get a victory. And by the way, the Patriots actually came pretty dang close on Sunday night to beating him. They lost. They lost 19-17. And it was just a thrilling game. Was it 19-17? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
I forget.
What was a thrilling game, down to the wire, a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought that the Bucs were going to come in. I'm not going to lie to you folks. I thought the Bucs were going to come in and beat the Patriots handily, given the way both these team seasons have gone so far. But hey, you know what? The Patriots, they stepped up. They battled. They showed they could compete with the Buccaneers, and they literally got it so that they had a chance to kick a game-winning field goal in the final minute. Unfortunately, the game-winning field goal missed and went off the upright and missed, which is very disappointing. But just overall, a very, very exciting game to mark, like I said, Tom Brady's return to Foxborough. So I wanted to ask Kyle, obviously we've been talking about this game sort of on this episode, just, you and I personally, for several weeks now, probably even since Tom Brady left the Patriots, just the idea of him returning to play the Patriots here and all that was involved in it. So I just wanted to sort of get your take on, the game, on the fact that Brady was back, on the result, on just, all your thoughts and feelings about what transpired this past Sunday night.
I mean, it's interesting because just to kind of start off with, just Tom Brady being he's a very classy guy. I gotta give him all the credit for
absolutely.
He's coming back, and I just love seeing him. All the pregame stuff that they were showing. He just hugging, Bob Kraft, and he just saying hi to everyone and all the staff and everything.
Did you see that outside the locker room? Like, he had a very nice embrace, you're right, with Bob Kraft, and they chatted for quite a few minutes there, which was really I mean, they've always had a really good
Mm-hmm.
relationship. And so I it was not surprising in the least to
Yeah,
see that.
it was great. It was just like it just really shows that despite the fact that they're on different teams now and everything, that Tom Brady still he's he still has that kind of like showmanship, if you will, towards just all the people that he knew and worked with, and there's no bad blood.
He spent 20 years here. I mean,
right?
just think about that. I mean, he spent 20 years here in New England. I mean, you can only imagine sort of what the emotions were running through his head. Leading
Yeah.
up to and during that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was just so yeah, it was nice seeing, and it's just funny seeing also the fan reaction too. Well, so I had people that I knew that went to family and friends that actually went to the game because it was a pretty big deal, and
Yeah.
especially including one of my cousins who was huge Tom Brady fan. And
shout out Cam.
and kudos to him wearing both jerseys, by the way. Such a big
really?
Tom Brady. Yeah, he came in with a Tom Brady Patriots jersey, and under the Patriots jersey was Tom Brady TV jersey. So I thought that was incredible, and it really kind of goes to show that a lot of even if you had people that were Patriots fans, you had people that were Tampa Bay fans, and then you just had Tom Brady fans.
Yeah.
People that just wanted to go to
We're
see Tom
all
Brady.
intertwined, like in this great circle of Brady.
And it's kind of one of those things, I think, for a lot of people that it's you go to that game and you're thinking, well, yeah, it'd be great especially if you're going at it like from a Patriots fan angle. Is yeah, of course it'd be great if the Pats won, but it wouldn't be so bad too if Tom Brady won too on his current team. So it was. I think that's kind of one of those experiences that you just watch for fun at the end of the day, and maybe not, maybe necessarily you don't even have a stake in the game. Maybe you don't even want to cheer for one more than the other kind of thing.
It's kind of a human interest story, also. I mean, not just it's sort of more than just sports. It's just kind of like. Yeah, human interest, I think, would be the perfect way to describe it, other than the sports angle to it.
Exactly. You don't necessarily have to pick a side. You could just be like, hey, I just want to see Tom Brady play.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I think, how a lot of people came into that game, and I think that's what made it a lot of fun. You just kind of go to that game, and you're like, all right, you know what? At this point, let's just see what happens. So, just a lot of good feelings around that. It doesn't seem like there was any really bad blood between anyone, which is really good because when you go to like Red Sox Yankees games or like Canadian Bruins games, it's so they're all one sided. Like you have your extreme on one end, your extreme on the other end, kind of thing. But in this case, it's kind of nice to see people kind of meet more in the middle, which is very rare. I feel like
I just love the fact that I love I do love the comparison there between two hated sports rivalries and a guy returning to a place that he was for 20 years.
I know it's a bit of an extreme, but
bit of an extreme comparison there. But we're gonna move past it. It's okay.
But even in general too, even when it comes to like like people, well, like because you've seen Red Sox games where Red Sox versus Yankees games where. The player from the Red Sox has gone over the Yankees, and at that point it's like pissed off the fans so much.
I was burying Johnny Damon.
Yeah, and at that point it's like
not that I'm bitter about it at all.
Yeah, totally not, Robbie.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's just funny because in those instances, and I think it's mainly also because of that rivalry. I think that really heats things up a bit.
Yeah.
They did not get a welcome at all. Like the second they switched over that team, people were like booing them and stuff like that. Like it was none of that stuff that Tom Brady got. So
right, no, that was a completely different reaction and a completely different like welcome when they returned than this one was. Although it was interesting, I don't know if you were watching the game at this particular point or not, but when the Bucks, it was kind of funny how when the Bucks offense, I mean, everybody cheered Brady, before the game when he came out and all of that. There was a video tribute and all that. But it kind of goes to show you how, teams and their fan base kind of, flip that switch once the game starts. Because when the Bucs offense came out for their first drive, everybody booed the Bucs offense. And everybody just kind of thought it was kind of funny. People were, going way over the top, Chris, how dare you Pats fans, boo Brady. Because the game started. We would do this to any team, any quarterback, when they come out. It's just, the pregame stuff and all of that is different from when you're in the game yourself. You want to kill the other team. Not literally. We do not condone murder in any form here. In sports, but no, you want to go out. You want to beat them. You're into the game itself, and so I can understand why people sort of took that approach. I mean, but I didn't have a problem. I mean, would I have been one of the ones booing when they did it? Probably not. I mean, I probably would have either stayed neutral or applauded. But at the same time, I can totally get it. I mean, like I said, you're in the game. You're in the heat of battle. I'm sure Tom Brady doesn't care.
No.
He's probably this is it's in the game. What this is just the way it is. So
just the way the pieces fell, and there you go.
yeah. So I was curious, Kyle, were you like me surprised actually, especially given how sort of the season started? For the Patriots especially, were you surprised that they actually were able to keep it pretty close? I know they came up a little bit short, but were you surprised that they were actually able to, make it as close a game as it was?
Oh, yeah. So just kind of seeing what you're right, what's been happening before and, following fantasy and stuff like that. Yeah, you're right. They've definitely got off to a rockier start, and that's understandable. They're still kind of in the... they literally just got a brand new quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So.
Who, by the way, Mac Jones played very well on Sunday night. I gotta give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
He played at one point had 19 straight completions in a row, which
19.
was really impressive. I mean, some people were sort of arguing, and I tend to agree with their point that he actually may have outplayed Brady a little bit in that matchup, but no, he looked really good. So. Shout out to Mac Jones.
I mean, definitely kudos to Belichick for building up the players in that sense, and he definitely, I think he knows how to really build up even the rookie, the new players, that just kind of came onto the scene, that just come onto the scene like that. So, but yeah, no, one of the running jokes I had with one of my friends, Ben, was how how we were okay, how we weren't even saying if. The question was, how hard do you think the Buccaneers are going to beat the Patriots?
I was kind of I think the three of us were talking about it one point last week.
Last week we
were talking about it. I kind of put the over under 30-point margin of victory. And I was maybe even taking the over at that point.
Yeah.
But kudos to the Pats. I mean, for keeping it close and putting themselves in a position to win the game in the final minute.
There you go. Yeah, just won't go down without a fight. So that's a good mentality,
Absolutely. And then, obviously, one of the big things that people were waiting on / curious to see was the sort of interaction, especially post game, between Belichick and Brady. Obviously, a lot has been talked about in terms of their relationship.
Yeah, I've heard a bit about
all
that.
These different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, their interaction was very pleasant. I mean, they shared a quick hug on the field, and I don't know if you heard this story, but apparently, when both the teams had gotten back into their locker room, Belichick actually went to the Tampa Bay locker room and actually went in had a private conversation with Brady for about 20 minutes in the Bucs locker room. After the game. So I mean, I just kind of was curious again. I mean, just sort of getting.
I had no idea. Huh.
Yeah, no, but I was curious just your reaction just to sort of Tom's sort of interactions, especially post game with Bill and just the even on a broader sense the rest of the the Patriots teammates and coaches are right after the game after he goes in there and beats them. Definitely, it was as far as I'm concerned, it was very, pleasant and very, very positive.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's very surprising. Actually, you're right. I had no idea about the interaction with. But no, you're right. That really takes a lot to go over, and it sounded like he was. I mean, it sounded like he was just kind of going over to at least at the very least, I'm sure, congratulating Tom Brady and maybe um, telling him what a good game it was. Well, I mean, I don't know how Belichick is in that sense, but um, yeah, no, that was very surprising though. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so hey, I mean, listen, Brady is no backups for 1,292 days. Sorry, just random pop up there on the
Yeah.
computer. Um, but yeah, no, it was overall a very exciting night of football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Part of me is kind of relieved it's over because just it's all we've been hearing about for like weeks and weeks. It's just like, oh, Brady's coming. Oh, Brady's coming. It's like, okay, now we can kind of like move on and focus on other things, and focus on the rest of the season, and then not have to worry about Brady at least playing the Patriots. I mean, of course, we'll obviously be following Brady as he and the Bucs go through the rest of the season, but just happy. I mean, obviously happy for disappointed he beat the Patriots, but at the same time, I always root for him. I always root for Tom when he's not playing the Patriots, at least. So, and by the way, I do have to give a quick shout out to our buddy Sky. I know we know a lot of scouts that have been on this show, but our buddy Scott Kavugian, who we've had on before to talk some outdoor hockey and all and Katuitt, Keller baseball and all that. He and I actually did a little virtual game watch together on Sunday night, which was a lot of fun. So I just want to give him a quick shout out. But yeah, nice. So the Pats, both teams actually sort of march on, and towards the rest of the season, it'll be very exciting to see where both team seasons go from here. So one thing I did want to mention just very quickly, I know we didn't really plan this in, but I'd be remiss if I did mention talking about the busyness of Boston sports over the past few weeks. I did mention before briefly that the Red Sox did earn a playoff spot this week, and what that entailed was last night they hosted the Yankees in the AL wildcard game, and yours truly was at the game along with my sister Sarah, who again guest on this show, and the Red Sox got the victory. 6-2 was the final. They beat the Yankees in the one-game wild card and sent the Yankees packing for another off season. So good riddance to them. But last night was so much fun. There's nothing like, first of all, playoff baseball. Second off, Red Sox Yankee playoff baseball. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like it. In a one game, like winner take all game as well. Like literally, there's no tomorrow. Like if you lose, you're going home. And so it was very exciting. Fenway Park was rocking last night. The Red Sox got off to a great start early. Xander Bogaerts hit a 2-run homer in the first inning, and the Sox just took it from there. So I just wanted to send a big congratulations out to the Sox for giving all us fans that were there last night and those at home as well a lot to cheer about as they knock out the Bronx Bombers. So that's all. I just wanted to kind of mention that briefly before we move on to the end portion of our episode, which is the first segment, as we always do, is more football-related stuff because as we've mentioned for the past couple of weeks, Kyle and I are both involved in our respective fantasy football leagues, which, it was another week this past week, and so we want to get into our fantasy football recap for the week that was, and so, Kyle, since you have the sort of the single team, I will let you kick things off, no pun intended. How did your week fare in fantasy week number 4? Yes, week number 4.
So it was It was kind of a disappointing week because
Oh no!
I was actually essentially I was tied, but like I lost by like literally
Ooh!
point. Yeah.
Ooh!
I'm just really not. I don't have the best luck this season.
Ouch!
I really don't.
By
Yeah.
by 0.3
Yeah.
points. Ooh.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
that's kind of my
I'm
season.
sorry, buddy. Yeah,
No,
that
it's
is tough.
it is what it is. I've been trying to make the best calls I can. It's just I've kind of like I've actually spoken to some people, and I've just had just not the best luck. I've put in the players I thought would be the best choices, and it just I don't know. Yeah, it's just that's the thing. That's the whole thing about fantasy. It's just the way it is. You just gotta kind of run. You just gotta deal
You
with
win
it.
some, you lose some.
Exactly. So let me see. Does that mean? Oh, am I out?
I don't know how you'd be out because it's only the 4th week of the season.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't even think they did the matchup yet. But oh no, here we go. Sorry. No, I'm actually the. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this ESPN app. By the way, I cannot do this app to save my life. So yeah, I think what happened last week was one of my players got injured.
Ooh.
It looks like so. I believe it was Chris Carson, and I think that was one of the.
Darn you, Chris Carson!
Oh, damn it! Oh, and the Pats defense there was a no. It was a no show. Just scored 0 points. So I think both of those factors really I think hurt my team this past week. Even the people on the bench didn't do the best either, but yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, so yeah. Well, it looks like I'll have to be swapping out some running backs, but once again, Alvin Kamara, great pick. I still side with him. I think he's a great. He had 12 points, which is a little lower than he normally does, but that's fine. And of course, there's Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback, great fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he's like top dog. He's amazing. So, and even DK Metcalf, he had a good game. He had a good week. Same with this guy Noah Fant or Fant.
Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Oh, yeah. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but yeah, they all turned in some pretty good weeks, including also Devontae Parker, another good week. But I have a lot of Qs here, which is a little unfortunate. I'm gonna have to kind of keep an eye on those guys. Hopefully, they don't get injured for the next week. So, but other than that, hey, what happened. It's just a lot of instances where. Where I thought I had a decent lineup, and it's just kind of like, just luck wasn't really on my side. So, oh well. So,
yeah,
how was your week?
Oh, my week was actually really good.
Nice.
I was quite pleased that I actually won in both my leagues this past week, which was very, very exciting, as always. And, yeah, so now I've actually won in both leagues back-to-back weeks, which like I said, I'm very happy about. I'm 3-1 in both leagues, and I'm sort of at the top of the standings. I'm tied for first in both leagues. So
I'm very cool, Robbie!
Excited. So we'll see if that holds up, or yeah. But so right now I'm doing pretty well. The one part I kind of want to give a big shout out to. It was interesting because I have Gronk as my starting tight end, but unfortunately he did not play Sunday night against the Patriots. So I kind of had to make a last-minute switcheroo there, and I went with Dennis Goddard, who's the tight end for Philadelphia, and he actually played really well. He picked me up 19 points.
Ooh, not bad.
In the winning effort for my Yahoo team. So I was very.
Actually, I think I might have him too. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I was very, very happy.
Yep, right here. Boom. Man.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
I was very happy to see that production, and like I said, just very happy to get W's in both my leagues, and now, like I said, I am 3-1, and looking to hopefully make it 3 in a row. Come this week, we'll see what happens. So now we'll sort of transition into my favorite football recap. I've already talked about the Patriots, so we don't really need to get into them. But there were obviously my sort of high school and college recap, though, to get to. On the high school side of things, Wellesley picked up a very impressive win last Friday night against
nice.
Newton North. And by impressive, I mean impressive margin of victory wise. They won 41-0 at Newton North. So, very, very happy for them. Second win in a row for them. Cool. They're now 3-1 on the season, like my fantasy teams. And this week is actually a big week for them because they are hosting, and Kyle will appreciate this the implications of this matchup. They're hosting Natick this week.
Ooh, okay, cool.
At the good old Wellesley High School field, and both teams coming in 3-1. You know, having good seasons, and so it should be an exciting game come Saturday afternoon. Looking forward to it. So, yeah, hoping for the best for the Raiders there. And then on the college side, BC unfortunately did suffer their first loss of the 2021 season on Saturday, losing to Clemson 19-13. Just another very exciting game. Right down the wire. BC literally had the ball at like the Clemson 10-yard line in the final minute. Unfortunately, fumbled the snap, and Clemson recovered, and that was sort of all she wrote there. But definitely, on the road, hostile environment. They put up quite the battle and have a lot to be proud of. And they are on their bye week this week, and so they will next be in action a week from this coming Saturday back at home against NC State. So looking to bounce back and get back in the win column and get their first conference win as well. About a week from now against the NC State Wolfpack. So we'll have to see what happens there. But those are the football segments for this week's show. And now, time to kick it on over to the Suze himself, Kyle, for another edition of the Suze Reviews. So, Kyle, what have you got for us this week?
So this week I was gonna do a kind of a midway review of the show I've been watching on Hulu. It's actually a show featuring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and surprisingly enough, Selena Gomez. And it's called Only Murders in the Building. I'm sure people have at least maybe seen some of the ads for it and everything. And it's a really great show. So far I love it. I think it's one of the best shows that's come out recently, to be honest. It's a great kind of mystery comedy show, kind of a blend of the two. The mystery itself is very intriguing. It's literally about a murder in this apartment building that these three people live in. And Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, they're all fans of basically like real, like true crime podcasts, if you will. And they end up meeting up with each other the night that one of the tenants is murdered. So the three of them kind of like they strike up a friendship, and they kind of decide to, okay, well, we're gonna make a murder podcast based on this current murder that just happened. And they end up actually also trying to solve the murder that the police just kind of threw away. They were like, okay, well, they thought it was a suicide, but then the three main characters, they realize, well, no, it's actually there's more to the story than the police had investigated on. So it's very intriguing. It's really great. And when you have Steve Martin and Martin Short in the same show, it's incredible. It's a great kind of throwback to like old school, the SNL era from like the 70s. And I like that. I think the dialogue is great. I love the banter between the three of them. And you'd think with Selena Gomez, she'd kind of be the odd duck out. But she holds her own. I was very surprised. A lot of people kind of look at her as like what was her? Didn't she have like a famous Disney or Nickelodeon show before that? Selena Gomez. Where was she from again?
Yeah, she was. I mean, she was on a couple of Disney shows back in the day. I forget. I want to say it was like the Wizards of Waverly Place or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't quote me on that. But yeah, she definitely was a Disney
Hmm.
child actress at one point or another.
Yeah, yeah. She had her own like sitcoms and whatnot, I think, and um, like you think like, oh well, she's very inexperienced, compared to like Steve Martin, Martin Short. But no, she's really great. She was actually a huge surprise when I saw this show. She really held her own. She's a great actress, and she works really well with the two. And I think that's really where the show works. Essentially it's three main leads, and it does have some other really great, really incredible stars that kind of show up every now and then. I won't get too much into spoilers, but you'll recognize a lot of them. You'll be like, "Oh, that's so and so from maybe SNL," or "That's so and so from." Um, just yeah, like I said, I don't want to get into too much, but it's a good show. It's very intriguing, and just the way they kind of keep the twists and turns coming. It's good. Like you don't like the answer is not obvious. I haven't even figured out yet. Like you can barely even figure out what's going on, and the show is good at throwing a lot of those like kind of plot twists there. And even when you think you've had things figured out, the show always adds like another layer, and you're like, oh, okay, did not see that coming. So it's a great show. If you have Hulu, definitely check it out. The show's not very long. You could actually watch it pretty quickly. There's only 10 episodes, and they're about well, sorry, they're I think they're working up to 10 episodes. I think they might be on their eighth or ninth episode right now. But it's a great show, and each episode is only about a half hour each, so you can pretty much fly through it. So yeah, great show.
Cool.
Only Murders in the Building.
Very cool. Yeah, definitely go check that show out. For sure. So thank you, Kyle, as always, for that lovely review, as always, and thank you for all of you for tuning in, as always. And hey, listen, if you like this show, you're gonna love our other two shows that we're a part of. The Sports Blitz with our buddy Doug and I. New episode filming tomorrow. You definitely do not want to miss that one. It's going to be a fun one. Marvel at the Movies with Kyle and Doug. Just wrapped up another episode last night. So definitely look for that soon. Always a great show. They've been doing a great job with that.
Oh, thank you.
Before we go, there's one last shout out that I'd like to give because there's a certain somebody, not gonna name any names, but there's a certain somebody who is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Actually, hold on, let me think if I can remember who it is. It's just, yeah, it's you.
Oh.
Yes, my good old buddy and co-host Kyle here is turning 32 years old tomorrow.
Wow.
And he doesn't look a day over, I don't know, 32.
32. We'll give it that.
Yeah. But no, but in all seriousness, I know it's still a few hours away, but I just want to wish you personally, now that we're sitting here, a very happy birthday.
Oh,
and I know, you're, like I said, you're another year older, another year wiser. Well, I don't know about the wiser part.
No, definitely not the wiser part. Yeah, we're going to... No.
But I hope you have a great day. And
Thank you.
Definitely, folks at home, definitely drop Kyle a happy birthday comment in the comments. He could definitely use it for his self-esteem. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. But speaking of comments, definitely like, subscribe to us right here on YouTube. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Definitely search On a Couch Talking Sports. We love your guys' support as always, and would love to get more support from new fans. So please, like I said, like, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell, do it all. Just do it. Yes.
Do it now.
I want you to like, subscribe. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And this is a couch. And we will see you next time here on a Couch Talking Sports. Bye, everybody.